grow your business. So we are going to spend like 5-6 minutes for each section. We are going to start with account management, and I'm asking Myles to come to the scene. And Myles is actually working with me like for the last 5 years, and he has been really a big advocate on CRM, account management, how to have better meetings, how to have a better conversation, how to focus on project sales. So he's really an expert of how to actually make money with account management. Hi, Myles, how's it going?
Good, good. Yeah, let's jump right into it.
Awesome.
What we want to cover today is a lot of people come to us because they say they want to do things like have a better quarterly business review, or be able to sell more projects, or just be able to show more value to their customers and their clients. Now, having a better meeting is a great goal, but what does it really mean to have a better meeting? If we get past the fluff, there has to be some kind of expected outcome. And the expected outcomes that when we drill down with our member community here into what they want to achieve, it's typically two things. They want to reduce churn, and that's why they're trying to show more value. So they're trying to more effectively communicate. They want to understand the needs of their clients. They want to understand what their clients are expecting and looking for from a technology solution partner. And they want to be able to communicate that they're satisfying those needs, and they can satisfy those needs, and they can help grow the business and support the business goals and all that. That's obviously going to reduce churn, because if the client says, hey, this company does lots for me, they're not just somebody to phone when I can't check my email or I need a new computer, they're actually an integral part of my business, they're not going to shop an MSP on price. They're not going to commoditize you. So that's a big thing. That's a big part of why they come to us. So having these types of conversations, like what Danish is showing here, being able to script the conversation and control the conversation. I have no doubt for those of you who are on the call right now, who are principals or owners of your MSP, you can have these conversations off your top of your head, no problem, because you've been doing it since you started your business. But if you're trying to scale and grow your business, and you're trying to get people in your organization to be able to have these conversations, you need to give them the resources so they're empowered when they go out there to be able to do it almost as good as you can do it. And by putting it into this kind of a storyboard layout that communicates through visual graphics and dashboards, and it's just all laid out here down the left, as Danish was just showing very briefly there, the different parts. Now they can pull this up, they can communicate the value. This is going to drive churn down. This is going to keep your customers longer, keep them from leaving you or shopping you, going to make them extremely sticky. And that's really one of the primary goals. The secondary goal is expansion. We're all in this to make money, right? You guys want to go out there and sell more services, sell more projects, and be able to show a growth trajectory or a roadmap to your customers. Now, not just a growth trajectory so that they can give you more money, but a growth trajectory on how you're going to support their business and help it grow. So by putting a roadmap in place, and then being able to keep people assigned and accountable to who's responsible for that, take it through deal phases like Danish is just showing, and even type in, if you want to throw some dollar amounts in there, Danish, into those different things, help them figure out their burn rate or their spend rate on IT over the next months, quarters, or years. What is this going to do? Well, one thing, it's going to help them make that purchasing decision. Because if there's one thing that CFOs and controllers and the accountants hate, it's ad hoc expenses.
Yes.
And this turns you into not a vendor, but a strategic partner. Because now you're saying, hey, by the way, this is going to be end of life. We're going to need to do this at some point. And you're working with them to plan when that's going to be. A lot of projects are just tactical things. They're just, hey, we need to upgrade a server. Well, that's great. But if you just go to the customer and say, you've got to buy a new server, do they? Do they really want to do that? No, but if you can say, hey, these are the laundry list of things that we're going to recommend are risks to you right now that we need to mitigate, then you're going to be able to work with them on when they feel comfortable adopting those things. And you're going to be able to show them that growth over time. So,
and what I like about your approach, Myles, is that set what is your goal for that very meeting, and then use collaterals, use widgets, use scores, use embedded infographics, use anything to get your ideas across faster, make decisions, and make things moving forward. Because many people, like we see, they try to create some type of unified, one fit for all type of report and communication, which is great, but everybody needs something different. The CEO needs different than a controller or the other decision maker on IT. And if you are not understand their needs and their roles, we cannot convey the right message to the right audience. So most of the account managers are struggling with that. Yeah. Owners typically, by gut feeling, they get it, but employees have hard time to have a unified experience with different type of clients.
Yeah, well, I mean, even going back to these scorecards here, I mean, being able to ask high-level questions about satisfaction is something that's going to be important to a CEO or an owner or the executive at your client sites. But getting into things like warranties and service tickets and SLAs, you know, the things that we're pulling in by embedding break age and warranty master reports into here, that's probably more relevant to the IT coordinator or the office manager there. Their responsibility from a roles perspective is to make sure that you're doing your job as the MSP, and their responsibility is to make sure the office is running smoothly. But the owner just wants to give you feedback and say, hey, I like this. I'm happy with where we're going. Or if they're not, you need to know that. So you need to have a way of actually gathering that data and having that conversation.
That is a story you told me about, like a client using this client scorecard, like actually they scoring their clients. What was it? What was this all about? It was
so it was great because it was actually, they added a question into here about
receivables, right?
How quickly the client was paying their bill, basically, like invoices are paid promptly or something like that. And when the MSP scored the client in this particular little scorecard, they scored them very, very low because this client was paying the MSP like 90 days late all the time. And so when they brought the report in and had the meeting with the owner, the client owner's like, why did you score a 0? And then the MSP was able to say, well, because you always pay your bill 90 days late. Well, the owner didn't know that this was happening, called the accountant or the controller in and was like, hey, pay these guys, get them paid promptly. They're important to our business. And you know what? They always get paid right away now. And it took the friction out of it. It wasn't like anybody was trying to be a jerk. It was just a way to make the communication more effective.
Yeah. Awesome, Myles. Thank you very much for your wisdom here. And guys, honestly, what we are taking a couple of bold steps. We have an initiative called Increase Project Revenues by $100,000 in 90 days, and we have a guarantee for that. So that's a coaching package you can get, and each and every section you're gonna have something like this bold statement, because we really engineered all these things and it's doable. It's really doable. You need to follow a couple of things and make sure you can execute a couple of things, but it's really doable. So thank you very much, Myles. That is great stuff for account managers.
I'm going to throw a couple of links into the chat here in Zoom. If you're not a member of Managed Services Platform yet, book a quick time and we can have a chat and I can walk you through how to achieve these goals. If you're an existing member, let's get you connected with Alyssa and she can walk you through all this stuff as well. And we're here to help you along your journey at any step along the way. So thanks for having me on the call here. I'll be in the background and I'll be in the chat.
Thank you.